Hello, this is Elliott. Yes, another solo video. Where's Jim? He's either dead or playing his dumb video game. My guess is the latter, but you never know. Anyway, I've decided to do a solo video because a band that I've kind of championed for a long time, but no one had really ever heard of, has been reissued over the past 2 or so years, and I wanted to take a closer look at the reissues. Sorry, the album covers aren't on screen, or there's nothing on screen, and all that. Again, blind. You do better. Anyway, Skeletal Earth is a band from Huntsville, Alabama, active from 1987 to 1995. They're a death thrash band, although they have a lot of punk. In fact, I would almost describe them as death thrash crossover. It's a sound that's not really done these days. Legion of Death also kind of fit that mold. Interesting fact: Legion of Death called their music deathcore. The line Legion's wearing leather with their bullet belts in hand. Uh, Deathcore music spreading like a plague across the land. uh, anyway, um, now of course deathcore means something altogether shittier. Uh, they released two albums, Skeletal Earth, Eulogy for a Dying Fetus, which is an amazing album title, and the strangest spelling of Dē.ěv'lou'shŭn I ever seen. You can see it in the description there. Both albums were produced by one Mr. Scott Burns, who has a book about him I want to read. Make that into an ebook, Albert. Come on, make an ebook. Anyway, and they also have an EP out, as well as other various recordings. Um, I found Skeletal Earth kind of randomly on the Internet Archive going through. I I I didn't really have a computer that could download MediaFire and stuff. It was a Braille computer, and I basically could download whatever it let me download. So I was looking up random death metal stuff, and I found the complete Skeletal Earth discography on Internet Archive, which is still there. Although I warn you, it's not a very good bit rate. But hell, free's free, and I downloaded, and I really liked what I heard. And I've been showing people Skeletal Earth the past 13 years, and no one had ever really heard of them, um, except one guy who turns out ran Desperate Attempt Records, their label. No wonder you've heard of them. Anyway, so I was very surprised to see that both albums were reissued by Vic Records in 2022 and 2023. And so naturally, I snapped them up. And I would like to kind of go through the records and tell you the pros and the cons, and there are both. First off, let's start with the actual cases. They're jewel cases, but the spindles are flimsy. In fact, my copy of Eulogy for a Dying Fetus, which was sealed, the spindle was already broken, and it broke even more when I got the CD off the out of the case. Fantastic. Um, as far as the actual sound, the sound's good. It's clearly been boosted, but I don't think it's very brick walled. It's a pretty good remaster. Um, there are some issues I have, which we'll go into right now. Actually, first off, both albums had cover songs. Eulogy for a Dying Fetus had "You Really Got Me," and De-Evolution had "Calling Dr. Love" by Kiss, and neither are very good, but and neither are actually on the record. And although neither are very good, it still feels a little incomplete. It's like, okay, if you if you're gonna reissue them properly, you know. I assume this is just Vic Records not wanting to pay royalties, and I'm assuming Kiss has very expensive royalties. So whatever. Although again, it feels like, well, if you're gonna reissue it, reissue the whole album. Also, Eulogy is missing the song "Fucking You," which is on a bonus track on the CD from '91, but is not on the reissue. Although there's a live version. More on that in a minute. So overall, sounds good. Like I said, missing one or two tracks, which is kind of a no-no for me, but whatever. Um, let's get to the bonus tracks because the bonus tracks are actually kind of why I got it. The first first thing you'll find on Eulogy for a Dying Fetus is after the album is an unreleased EP from 1990, which is really interesting because I didn't even know it existed. Although the song "Intestinal Dry Heave" was on the Blearg the Record, which is a legendary record released on Slap a Ham in the early 90s. Next, you have, and the EP's really good, although it's strange not hearing a Skeletal Earth with a Chris Barnes or Scott Burton production. It's really raw, but it is listenable. The next is the demo, the "It's Not Our Fault" tape. Yes, it is. Um, I could never find actually a decent version of this tape. I found versions, but they're all really, really rough. I mean, even rougher than the tape is originally. So it's nice to actually hear this in somewhat clear quality. Of course, it's raw. It's a demo from '89, but it's still really cool to actually have in decent quality. The next are live tracks from a live demo from '89, although not the full set, which you can find on the internet, although again in kind of shitty bitrate. So that's fun. But I De-Evolution actually has the better bonus tracks uh, because first off, you have the EP with the name I I've never really understood how that's pronounced, and then you get the next 13 tracks after that are the A Taste of Bio Live, which is an unedited, full set live show. That actually has all the tracks. I don't know why they didn't do all the tracks on for the live demo in '89 on Eulogy. I'm guessing it was a space thing, although it's, the reissues do feel a little bit cut rate, like a little bit. Let's do this as cheaply as possible. Again, not having the cover songs, which and not having the live version or the studio version of "Fucking You," which is again on the '91 version of "Eulogy for a Dying Fetus," and cutting out some of the live tracks. There were some other live sets that I'm kind of surprised uh, weren't included. It feels very much like a "let's do this as cheaply as possible" type thing, which kind of doesn't do the band service considering the quality of the music. What would have been what would have been great was to actually have a box set. Um, because there are a few more. There's a rehearsal recording from '87 that's floating around. There's again the full live demo from '89. There's another live show that I have, and it would have been great if we had those in enhanced, better audio format. But whatever. I guess this is as good as it's going to get for now. Um, my verdict is hunt down the originals if you can, but if they're too pricey, get the reissues. They're they're cool, but kind of disappointing. Um, they the bonus tracks are kind of what you need them for, especially that unreleased EP, which again is really hard to find, except for Intestinal Dry Heave, which is again on the Blearg record. Um, I rate it, I don't know, about a 6 out of 10. Could have been better. Um, but hey, at least these albums are getting reissued and recirculated, and so I guess that's all that counts. I don't know. I'm I'm kind of disappointed actually, and we'll see what maybe someone will release a box set with the live stuff, because it would be cool to have the entire live demo set. Um, I don't want to say remastered, but definitely enhanced from the 128 kilobyte rip that I have. So, um, fun, but kind of, and of course the cheap spindles. So fun, but kind of a letdown. We'll see what happens in the future. So I try to hunt down the originals if they're not too pricey, and That's my review of the Skeletal Earth albums. Great band. Check them out. And like I said, you want the reissues for the bonus tracks, especially the A Taste of Bio live. That's a really good live set. Um, there's even some little D beats the drummer does during the like downtime. It's pretty awesome. So um, hopefully we'll be able to do more Swine Brothers shows in the year 2096, and hopefully, yes. What will happen first? A new Swine Brothers show or Jim's weird video game civilization actually coming to life? I'm placing bets. Anyway, I've been Elliott. I'll be back with more solo stuff, I guess. Go fuck yourself.